Alright, so currently we're looking at my file HRGWP, which stands for Horse Racing Game with Pictures. It's just a abbreviation I came up with when I created the file. The original version didn't have the moving horse images. Yeah, so this is a file I created so that we could play games at work, where games are normally blocked. It's an Excel file though, so this game is not blocked. And you create players using the new player button by entering the name. Then you select new player, and then you can add the player to the betting roster thing up here. Type in their name in so. If you choose set up, it will set up a race by randomizing the names of the horses. Each player may then place any amount of bets. You can see their available cash down here. You can set the speed of the race, keep it at 0.1 for the fastest available speed, and then press the race button to simulate a race. And each character, or each player, will win or lose money based on their bets and the positions of the horses. So it looks like I guessed right on the second place horse. That's a 1/2 payout. So I made 15 bucks and spent 10. Ended up at 1,005. Alright, now I've already got a video showing this without any dialogue though. Today, since this is my most popular project, I am going to actually dive a little bit more into the ways you can customize this file for yourself, and just kind of into the background of where some of this stuff comes from. So first, a cool trick to try is come down here, right-clicking this tab, and choosing to unhide the player sheet. Here you can see the player I should create a Gunblade. I can easily create another player just by typing their name in down here. And yeah, so it's a really good way to cheat. Also, just to see all the players you have registered. So I can act like this guy has already played 5 games and made $9,000. Oh, average winning is a calculated field. I might just want to keep that calculation. Yep, all these are calculated. And you gotta make sure these last 3 stay calculated fields because they're used in keeping track of the outcomes of the races. These fields get copied over to here at the end of the race. So yeah, good place to check out your players. To create a brand new player, you can just copy the template and start giving them names. Anyways, another cool trick, if you press Alt F11, you can open up Visual Basic, where you see your macros. Right up at the top here, go ahead and create yourself a new macro. It's called Unhide. And I'm just going to copy this. I already have it typed up somewhere else. And if I run this macro, you can either press F5 here, or you can go to, man, I'm bad at this. View your macros, choose to unhide, and run it. It'll unhide this final sheet here, the horses sheet. So currently all races are 400 meters. I will post a video where I'll have a way of changing that if you want to try the longer races, and I'll have a lot more options too. Also, all horses are defined by a speed, stamina stat, and then their strategy type, which is either a sprinter or a distance horse. And then there's an estimated time over here. So the stuff in G11 through J14 is just some stuff I use for myself. I can see here the average speed of the horses, the max, the least, And the same for stamina. 75% of my horses are sprinters. The other, like 25% or so, are distance runners. And this is just the observation of the estimated completion times. I think. Yeah, column E, okay. In total there's 4,763 horses. I created these by finding a list of horse names on the internet and just pasted it in column A here, and then created random stats in the other 4 columns, which the formula for those random stats is right here, the last horse I have called random. So you can see this determines their speed, stamina, the chance of them being distance or sprinter, and then this is the calculation for estimated time. So if you just go and hard code in your own horse, you can type in any stat. 20, this speed's in meters per second, so 20 is typical. You can go a little bit higher though, because it kind of averages out and stays realistic. Even if I make it like a 30, this would be a really fast horse. Stamina just determines how long they can run at full speed before they slow down. Since I get this one high stamina, I'll make them distance. And then that horse's estimated completion time is 20 seconds. Yeah, I made a pretty good horse there. Alright, yeah, so G19 is just a reference for the number of horses. If you're going to add horses, actually, it's recommended to add this following formula, because the macro actually uses this cell in picking the random horses. So this formula is just going to have it count the total number of horses you have based on the names in column A, and subtracting 1 for the random horse, which actually means you want to keep the random horse on the bottom, unless you just want a horse that can pop up called random, but that would mess up the macro probably. So I'm going to keep the random at the bottom of the list. A trick to adding horses would be highlight, right click, insert, shift cells down, and you just type a name here. Alright. Yep, and that's all the information on horses. You can create your own, you can customize these, you can delete this whole list and just make your own couple of horses. Whatever. Yeah, sprinter and distance, it's described here. Distance will pretty much conserve their stamina for about the first fifth of the race, and then go start building up to full speed. Sprinters just go all out from the beginning until they run out of stamina, and then they slow down quite a bit. And yeah, I guess that's about all I have to show for now. A lot of my formulas and calculations, oh yeah, if you want to see edit stuff on the sheet, you'd want to unprotect it. The password is 123. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. And if I unhide the first 10 rows, here's a lot of the formulas and stuff I use. I'll get more, well, I'll edit these in my next video. I'm not going to really go into detail on all these. You can kind of see what they do if you know Excel formulas. Read through some of the stuff. Like this right here is just picking the name of the next horse, and this is looking at their, oh no, this is the race time. Yeah, and all the stuff is referenced in the macro. Which then, also in the macro, this pause macro is pretty much the macro for the pause length between each iteration, each second. And like the way speed works is if I had this at 1, the race, if it took 30 or 57 seconds for a horse to finish, it would actually take 57 seconds to simulate it. Except, you know, there's going to be some delay by Excel, so probably a little bit longer. So this means it's going to take about a tenth the actual time to simulate. This should take only about 6 seconds to simulate. 57 divided by 10 rounds to about 6. Yep, and then there's the setup race macros right here. And then the actual race macro and the new player. And this is updating the image of the horse. I did it a very sloppy way, but I'm not going to go through the effort of actually changing all that.